Beep, 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 beep. All that's new and approved, new from the Jester. Welcome and good morning, all. I had to do this because it's just superb. I've got an itchy arm. I don't know what's going on, right? Our friends at For Women Scotland, whom were with me at the Battle of Ideas in Buxton recently, which was great. We had a lovely chance to have a catch up and a chin wag. So we're back talking about Scotland again now. Do the usual, subscribe, right? And also, I've been told to say, please share this video online. Okay, so subscribe, please share the video online, become a patron, warrior teacher, buy me a coffee, send me some PayPal, the usual stuff, keep me going, right? Okay, so let's get to it. There's a court case going on. They got the Scottish Government back in court to talk about the fact that some of their definitions are in fact nonsense, which they are, right? Okay, so I came across this and it's superb, so I'm going to have to go through it just to make sure that this gets as much coverage as possible. It's a tweet, a thread of tweets from Scot_feminists, who've done a great job in sort of encapsulating what happened in the court case on the first day. And I thought you might find it interesting. So the links are in the doobries, as usual, in the description down below. So let's go. It starts with, today we watched the first day proceedings of For Women Scot taking the Scottish Government to court. The topic is really very niche, but will impact us all if the judge rules for the Scottish Government. We won't know the outcome for at least 2 months, so let's share what we learnt. And it starts with some great examples. So here we go. First one. Let's say you're male called John, right? And you feel uncomfortable in your own body for whatever reason, right? Or you just like wearing dresses, okay? You acquire a gender recognition certificate, a GRC, that allows you to change the sex on your birth certificate to female. Why we're still allowing that, I don't know. Right, we're going to call this John's certificated sex. This is these clever feminists' mind, not me. Certificated sex, right, okay? The Scottish Government says that this GRC makes John female in all respects. What? That's what they're saying. He's female in all respects. What's this poison dwarf, wee Jimmy Cranky up to, right? All respects. Right, so you, as in you, ask for a female doctor to do your smear. I'm a man, I struggle with that word. That's as upsetting to me as the word prostate or catheter, right? No, just no. So now you turn up for your smear and you ask for a female doctor. You can see this coming, can't you? Right? And John turns up to do it because he's certificated sex. He's now female according to the Scottish Government. Get your head around this? You attend a rape counselling session. Job description was for females only, and John runs it. That's actually happened. There was some bloke who was running one. Awful, really. So all the provisions in the Equality Act that create single-sex spaces for females, for safety or privacy or dignity, can now include John. That's what's at stake here, folks. So don't think this is something that's small and not going to affect everyone. Anyway, the next day, the next day of the tribunal, which by now will have been yesterday, I imagine, by the time you get this video, is to the Scottish Government are going to justify that in court, right? With a bench book written by Stonewall. Bench book written by Stonewall. It worries the hell out of me because the judiciary is captured. Conversely, let's look at it the other way around. Say you are a female and called Alice. Alice? Who's Alice? For 24 years, I've been living next door to Alice. Yeah, nice little serenade there. Right, okay, so Alice, and you acquire a GRC, so your certificated sex is now male. The Scottish Government says you are now male in all respects. As was pointed out today in the court, Alice would lose any protection in law under the Abortion Act because it specifically mentions women and it means females. Because only females can get pregnant or need an abortion, and the Scottish Government says Alice is now male. Do keep up. Feels like sleight of hand, doesn't it? Look over here, but it's going on over here. Right, okay. Oh, maybe it is sleight of hand. Right, so of course, Alice is now seen as male. Well, should Alice get pregnant, because the Scottish GRC requires no change of body, dress or behaviour to change your certificated sex. So, of course, male Alice can get pregnant. This is queer theory. Queer theory by a government. By a government. The legislation that protects from discrimination during pregnancy, which is one of the protected characteristics, or while breastfeeding, right, refers specifically to women, females. So sorry, Alice, no legal protection, because you're male. Should Alice be paid less in her job because everyone knows Alice is really female, treat her as such, despite being certified male, then Alice has no recourse in law to that inequality of pay due to sex, because Alice is, to all intents and purposes, now male. You might want to draw a diagram while I'm reading this. Can you believe this is real? It is real, right? In court. If Alice needs treatment for gynecological issues, it's that prostate catheter thing again. Gynecological issue, as she kept her female reproductive organs, she can be excluded from the female-only gynecological ward, if such a thing exists in Scotland in 2022. But John would be allowed on that ward. Mind blown, yeah. Do keep up. Black became white and white became black. And sooner or later we were all through the looking glass. What was of particular interest was that the body created to look after the implementation of the Equality Act, the EHRC, the Equality and Human Rights Commission, they had a legal defence in court. Yes, that's right. The body given the job to uphold the law covering 9 protected characteristics believes that a GRC grants the holder a certificated sex in all respects. John becomes female and Alice becomes male, and everyone else has to live with the consequences, and women will bear the brunt, and gay men, by the way. Why are the EHRC... I don't understand this. Has Baroness Faulkner not got her head around the fact that there aren't two sides to this? You can't both sides this. Right? These people are insane. Men being women and women being men. I mean, they are absolutely deranged. And you know what they're about? They're about unshackling the very anchor that holds the ship of reality in place on the sea of the world. It's just madness. From the age of 16, the Scots Government wants any male to be able to acquire a GRC. No medical diagnosis, no gatekeeping, no safeguarding, and get a certificated sex of female. They can't get a tattoo. They can't have a beer. It's the most insane dribble. Absolutely insane dribble. So young girls and women will have to accept John as female at all times, even when giving those women internal examinations or mammograms, because John, according to the Scottish Government, is female. This is insanity. So, for example, he may well serve time in a female prison, if John's a bit of a ne'er-do-well, on our hospital wards, perhaps, in Scotland. Well, that's where John will be. Whereas the Alices of the world will be forced to be male in all aspects. Alice will be placed in male prisons, in male hospital wards, and have males examine her. Now, by all accounts, the following day, which, as I said, was probably yesterday, the EHRC are going to justify this absolute madness and how it will be imposed on the whole of the UK. Yes, this is happening in Scotland, but just as they say here, don't think this will impact everywhere else. The impact of the judicial review is huge. It is absolutely fundamental. You can follow Tribunal Tweets, who I've mentioned before at various times in this, in my ramblings. They will be able to help you. And I think it says here, they've got it all, it says it already. You really do need to know what may be coming our way, whether you are John, Alice, or the rest of us. Fingers crossed that Lady Haldane rules for Women in Scotland. That's an interesting name, Lady Haldane. There's something called the Haldane Principle, which is to do with funding. in universities in UKRI. And I'm now intrigued to wonder whether or not Lady Haldane has got anything to do with the Haldane principle, or perhaps it was Lord Haldane, or maybe little baby Haldane. Somebody, a Haldane I was hitherto unaware of. So I might have a look at that. It's interesting. Has Lady Haldane got anything to do with the Haldane principle? This is serious stuff, folks. And my thanks to Scots feminists for this tremendous illustrative metaphors and stories within this particular post. We keep an eye on it, because it's quite possible that this stuff is going to get through, and when it does, we're going to have to start a different tack and start fighting differently. But my main message from this, and I think will be going forward, is you don't both sides this. This is surreal. Coming up on Jester News, we also have some information about LSE, the London School of Economics, and I'll be looking at what exactly is going on with Suella Braverman, who's made a rather marvellous statement on Twitter. So that's it from me. Subscribe, do the thing. Oh, there's a poll doing the rounds that I put up. Somebody said, would you do a Q&A with the Jester? So I said, yeah, I will, if I think people are interested, and I'll stick it on Eventbrite, charge a minimum fee, because it has to have value, otherwise people won't turn up. And then we can have an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever it may be, chatting, asking questions, and grilling the mind of the Jester to try and understand things. So thank you very much. Please share this video, subscribe, buy me a coffee, usual stuff. Have a great day. Let's hope common sense prevails. And yeah, I'll speak to you again soon. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.